Hey guys, welcome. I just wanted to hop on here because I got inspiration, just like I have from this whole entire trip. But the topic shedding came up for me, and there have been a couple images in these past month and weeks that have been reoccurring in my life, and it just felt so right to talk about it because I know I'm not the only one going through it. So, the first one I want to talk about is the tree. And I even have a ring with a tree on it, which is pretty funny. But one thing that's coming up with that is a tree is stable. It's rooted, right? It has so many roots underneath the ground that we sometimes forget that those roots are what make us. And so I find myself in this moment where I'm like, hold on, what are my roots? Like, are they ones that I have been planting intentionally, or are they just roots that have been there with me since the beginning? And that's something that I'm exploring right now because when a tree dies, it actually nourishes the other trees around it. So it's like a continuous cycle of life. And so I'm sitting here like, I want to be intentional about the roots that I'm planting and be so stable in those intentions that I am the tree that gives life. And it gives life to the other trees around it when they need it. And so the topic of shedding came up because it's like I have to shed the skin of the person that I thought I was up to now and try something new. And you know how scary that is? Do you know how scary it is to question the things and the things that make you comfortable? It's not easy. It's really not. And the other image that keeps coming up for months now is the image of the sun and moon, and how the moon is emotional. The moon is mothering, and the sun is strong, stable, and beautiful. It makes you feel warm, and the moon is dark and soft. And yet, I think that's exactly kind of what a tree does. A tree shades us. A tree is rooted, but it needs sunlight to be nourished. And so I'm at this moment where it's like I'm shedding all of these things, all of these, I guess, possibilities and attachments that have made me feel secure. But has it though? Because I'm sitting here like, is this really what I want for my life? Do I even know what I really want? Ha- have I stepped out of my comfort zone enough to be understanding that I am that solid tree? That I am the tree that's going to nourish when it can no longer sustain living. And that's what I want to do. I want to give back and nourish and know that my roots are so solid that it communicates with the other roots around me. And so it just reminds me of a snake shedding its skin and having to start over, choose something new and try it on. Try on being, I don't know, the person that you've always wanted to be. What are those choices that that person is going to make? What are those moves that that person is going to make? And you might fail. It might not be good right away. Because to be honest, I started putting videos out and I can't figure out the lighting, can't figure out the voicing and the uploading and all of that. So, but the point is that you try. You try. Nothing great ever came from having it perfect. So maybe you've been wanting to surf and you've just been standing in your own way. Or maybe you've been wanting to join a pottery class and yet you're like, wait, I'm not artistic at all. Like, what am I thinking? I can't do that. And your cup comes out all wrong or whatever. Or maybe you've wanted to travel the world and you haven't. You've stayed where you are. And I know circumstances sometimes prevent us from doing the things we really want, but within your circumstances, what's something that you've always wanted to do that is in your reach and you haven't? Or some way of being. Just try it on, because a way of being can be free. You can wake up, and there's a bird that just passed by. It agrees. You can wake up one day and you can say to yourself, today I'm going to be a good person. So, what choices would a good person make? That's for you to decide, and you just try it on. And if that's not for you, then go back to what you were doing. Not that you weren't a good person, but that was just the example that came up. Or maybe it's, I want to try that dance class that I've never tried. So, what if you're goofy? So, what if you have no rhythm? But you did it. That was you building a root of stability. And so, can you shed the skin that you've been living in up to now? Because there's a part of you, maybe it's so faint you can't hear it. Or maybe it's so loud that you can do nothing but hear it, that wants to do something new, that wants some sort of change, because you want to be the tree. You want to be the sun and the moon for yourself. You want to have joy, but also feel your emotions and know that no matter what turbulence comes your way, that you're the tree. You're unmoving. The wind shakes your leaves a little bit, and yeah, some of them might fall, but you're stable. And so, if you're sitting here watching this video, I really challenge you to shed your skin. Try a new one on, and if that doesn't work, try another one. And if that still doesn't resonate or doesn't feel right or feels weird, try and sit and identify what's weird about it. Is it just because you're uncomfortable, or that you've just never thought you could do it? So, can you shed your skin? It takes a lot of courage, and I know you have it. I know that because I'm doing it. And so, I think that's complete. Be the sun and the moon for yourself and be that tree, and just know that I'm here to support you. Yeah.